topic.
Hey guys, my name is Amit,
My name's Ray.
and today we are watching Scary Ouija Board Stories animated by Llama. Is this called Ouija?
Ouija.
Yeah. They should have.
Ever since I can remember, we've always had one of those old vintage Parker Brother Ouija boards sitting in our closet collecting dust. When I was a kid, I always wondered what it was. From the box, it seemed like a horrible board game, until one day I found out what a Ouija board really is, and immediately dug it out of the closet. I insisted on my brother trying it out with me, and eventually got him to play along. We put our hands on the planchette, and I began asking the typical cliche questions like, is there anybody there? And, can you answer me? Other than my brother jokingly moving the planchette around to imitate an answer from some kind of entity, there was no real response. After getting bored, we put the game back in the box. I did a little research that night to find out how to make Ouija boards work. Many people said online that the most ideal environment when using a Ouija board is in a dark room only lit by candles. So when my parents weren't home, I managed to gather like 6 or 7 candles and convinced my brother to try it one more time. I lit the candles and set them around the table in the dining room with all the lights out. We tried one more time. I asked again if there was anybody there. The planchette began to move. I told my brother to stop moving it, but he swore he wasn't. I told him to move his hand away, and he did. It kept moving. My brother thought I was messing with him, but I didn't pay attention. The planchette landed on the word yes. I was only 9, so I was legitimately shitting myself. My older brother had to take over. He asked the question, "Are you a good spirit?" There was a 5-second pause before my brother's hand moved along with the planchette to the word no. We both looked at each other, and at this point I ran to my room and shut the door behind me, but he continued on with the so-called game. I heard his muffled voice come from down in the dining room, when all of a sudden I heard him screaming at the top of his lungs. I ran back downstairs to see what was wrong. He was holding up his shirt, revealing a small open wound that almost looked like a claw mark. He told me to set the fireplace immediately, and I obeyed. He threw the thing in the fireplace and told me to never speak of what happened to anybody. We have never used a Ouija board since.
Good idea.
Yeah, very good idea.
What? Have you ever used a
No,
Ouija board before?
no, never. I don't play with that kind of stuff. You're just playing with black magic.
That's black magic?
I don't know, bro. I don't know what you call it. You're just playing with bad juju. You're just like inviting whatever that in.
Or maybe, I think the minute you start paying attention to these energies, whatever, in the environment, or maybe you start asking, trying to interact with them, I think that's the time when you cross the limit. I have seen some of the movies where they do that Ouija board thing, and the spirit, it gets stuck because somebody just leaves that circle.
Oh,
And
jeez.
yeah, I mean, I think when you're doing it, you cannot leave the circle.
Yeah.
I think that's the rule.
I
Because
have
if
no
you
clue.
once a spirit is there, and if you leave the circle, what will happen is that it will be stuck there in that environment, and that's not definitely nobody wants the spirit.
No,
to
no
stick
one
around,
wants
so
anything like that to
Yeah.
happen.
anyways, yeah, that's something. But it's also a very I would say, is it a serious thing? Because I've seen a lot of people doing it and nothing happens. Once my sisters did it,
No way.
yeah, they were doing it, and I was really small and I saw them doing it. So I don't know if something happened or not,
Right.
but that was a different kind of Ouija board, and it had some chit system. I don't know what was it.
Was it like an Indian Ouija board?
Maybe it was. It's a long time ago. I don't even remember like what exactly it was, but it was something you have to throw that. There were small jets, and I think you have to throw that in big one, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways, and this was creepy, bro. It gave me chills.
This gave me chills for sure.
Like the claw mark.
Oh yeah, and then just like the little brother going downstairs, and it was just dark,
I think.
and the candles were off, and he was just like
Yeah.
not like facing him. He was facing the other direction.
I think it also depends on what kind of surroundings that you're living in.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Because if you're living in the place where these spirits are already there, like some freaking haunted house,
Old
then
house.
I think these kind of things they can take toll.
A graveyard, a cemetery.
Yeah.
Like if you're like nearby those areas.
Then you should expect Ouija board flying, bro.
Oh well, something. When you're playing with that kind of stuff, you always have to be just mindful and aware of what you're really doing, because whatever you invite in, whether good or bad, you're still having that intention, and you're bringing yourself in that kind of dimension.
I think there should be one way of putting an end to it too. Like there should, there's a starting question about, are you here or there? You know.
Yes.
If there was an ending pattern that how to send it back, then more people would try that madness. But
They should have like
they know how to bring it, like how to call it invocation, but they
Right.
do not know how to send it back.
Yes.
Right?
They need to have like a.
That's the problematic.
They need to have like a, like list of things what you need to do. Like, okay, here's what you should do. What do they call them? Like an introductory. I don't know what you call that.
Steps to follow.
Steps,
Yeah.
like steps. Okay, like here's, okay, if this happens, you can do this kind of act to kind of stop it, or like send that thing away.
But unfortunately there's not. So guys, in my opinion, you should stay away from these things, because you never know what you're getting into. Anyways, this was amazing. I liked it.
I liked it. This was good. Good animated story.
Good animation. The animation looked gloomy. Exactly what you require in a horror story.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna watch this late at night. It's good. It's a good story.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good job, Llama, and thank you guys for watching. Peace out.